Nice job. Go Diddley. Come on over. Right in there. Yo. Well, not bad. Still comes pretty easy. How long have you been doing this?
35 years. I was at the beginning.
Yeah, you were. You will. It looks like you still have fun with it, too. Now, I mentioned this new album, Breaking Through the BS, and
yes.
There's a song in here I know you feel pretty strongly about called Down with the Pusher.
Yeah, I wrote that song for the school kids and mostly for everybody, but mostly the kids that are around the schools that are having to deal with drugs that are being shoved on them, and I'm just trying to tell them don't do it.
Yeah. Because
it's a lot of other ways to be cool rather than to be fooling with drugs. And I think...
Enough said. Tell me, you have, how many kids you have? Kids, grandkids, the whole...
I got four kids.
Yeah.
And I have 9 grandkids and 2 great-grandkids.
No. 2 great-grandkids? Now, do the grandkids think Granddad's cool?
Yeah, they like me.
You seem like a likable guy.
They think I'm pretty cool, you know, because, you know, for what I'm trying to do, they work with me on this say no to drug thing and try to, you know, help me out anytime I call on them, you know.
That's true. Do they like your music?
Yes.
Yeah?
You know.
Well, that's nice.
Either they put up a good act, you know. You know, it's the old saying, you know, don't knock Grandpa, because, see, you know, if you need a couple of dollars, you know.
Anyway, it's great hearing you, and we're going to take a break and come back, and we'll all be out here, and we'll talk about those great days you had on the Mary Tyler Moore Show a little bit. No, I'm sorry. Thanks, Bill. Bo Diddley. We'll be back. What an impressive group we've assembled. If a bomb went off in this building today, the face of show business would be forever changed. I just thought I'd say
Thanks
that.
for bringing that up. It might be for the better.
No.
We'll get top billing.
See, that's a problem. Billing would be a problem.
Billing would be a problem.
You been enjoying the show so far, Dan?
I've been having a great time in the control room watching it.
Yeah. And do you have anything you want to
I'm
plug?
glad I got a chance to come out because I'd like to plug a big primetime special. I'd like to, but I don't even have a Sunday morning special.
No, you don't. You know, it occurs to me that virtually everyone in this group at one time or another has had a few dealings, pleasant or otherwise, usually otherwise, with our friends at the supermarket checkout lines, those tabloid...
the birdcage papers.
Does that indicate what's your problem with these
I
fine
don't feel
folks?
strongly about it. Well, listen, we've all put them down terribly, and of course, you never met anybody who bought one. They always just read them in the lines as they were standing in the grocery line.
Yeah.
But I think I get the maddest, I think, at the people who can't read a newspaper, can't read a news magazine. God forbid they'd read a book. But they read that and then quote it chapter and verse as though that's it. Every second week they have the Golden Girls stalking off the set because one makes more money than the other or somebody's sleeping with somebody else's thing. But it's just ridiculous. I have a way with words.
You do, yeah.
It's the lies.
What's that?
It's the lies that get you because that's what's so terrible about it. And some of them, it's amazing. I happen to have the distinction of having a lawyer represent me, Barry Langberg, for my case against Lorimar that I won so hugely, to tell the truth. And he is also the person who won for Carol Burnett 5, 6, 7 years ago, and the Inquirer did change as a result of that suit, but of course the Globe has arisen in or
well, you know
lowered.
what people say to me when I complain about them a little bit, I mean, folks who are not in show business, say, well, why don't, if it's wrong, if it's inaccurate, if they're a problem, why don't you sue them? Why don't you...
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Some people do.
Yeah.
And win. Shirley MacLaine. No, Shirley Jones is the other person. That I know.
But that means you go through all the litigation and all that money, and then if you win, fine, but it doesn't change it. People never really remember that. They're just busy with tomorrow's story.
Yeah. They're dragging you around a little bit these days. Yeah.
You can't argue with them, and what they print is absurd, and you just have to laugh about it and ignore it, and if it requires lawyers, you put lawyers on it, and you can't take it seriously, and I hope that the audience doesn't take it seriously. We, who are castigated one place or another...
Baby.
I've been... The next item you will see, stalking off the set. But I mean, those of us who are pilloried.
I think you should.
From post, we just have to ignore it.
Yeah, all right, well, maybe that's the solution. Bo, you ever been gossiped about? You ever been written about, the things that aren't true about you?
No, because I don't do nothing.
Well, that's probably the best defense right there.
I'm sort of with both.
Well, first of all, see, if someone, there's too many people that look alike nowadays, you know.
Sorry, I don't know that I follow.
Yeah, it's just so many people out here that look alike, and you know, if some guy comes up and says, well, you was with such and such a person, I says, I was? Why you didn't come up and touch me? You know, and now, if you didn't see me, yes, I mean.
Then how do you know I was there?
And walk up and let me know that you are, you know, eyeballing me. You know what I mean?
I understand what you mean, but...
Then don't go and say it, because I'm going to tell you you didn't see me.
I think I follow that.
What do you say?
I'm not sure. I think
I know what he said, but have you ever been able to make that story stick?
Yeah, because once when I was about, I think I was 24 years old, and I had my first marriage. My wife said that I was on 63rd Street in Chicago, and I wasn't on 63rd Street in Chicago. You know, I lived in Chicago. No, we got a divorce. You know what I'm saying? But
he's another one of those Bo Diddley lookalikes that are crawling all over the country here.
Where they got their story mixed up and messed up is I had a 1941 Lincoln Zephyr. You know.
Well, I want to remind you, you were 24. You're not still on trial for this.
I know. And confessing.
You're protesting a lot here.
And, you know, the way I look at it, when some guy says, well, you know, like, I say, I seen you, and I'm going to tell your wife something, I said, let's go. Let's go tell it.
We're talking about conversation in life. We're talking about imprint.
Yeah,
and people,
no.
If everybody would read the magazines as entertainment rather than news, that would be okay.
That's exactly.
No, they never.
That's
nobody
exactly
ever-
the attitude.
Truth, love.
The people buy the magazines in the supermarket, look at it, laugh, realize that it can't possibly be true.
Do you think?
I wish they would.
But many don't. Keep dreaming. I wish
Keep dreaming.
Do you remember when we were doing the show and Grant and Mary separated for a while? This is before they were divorced.
Doing
They
Mary-
separated.
doing
Mary Tyler Moore.
Years before.
And they were separated, and Mary and I had been good friends as we've established. Mary was over at my house, and we were sitting in front of the fire having a hamburger. I mean, a real fancy dinner, a hamburger, and we were just talking over the whole situation. And that week, she was over at my house every night, as a matter of fact. And over that week, one of these garbage papers came out and said about her being in New York with Jim Brooks, and they had her in a red dress, and they had the number of the room where they were staying. And I thought, how do you refute that? And she's been sitting in my living room eating this dumb hamburger. How do you refute that? And she did a classy thing. She said, oh, listen, we know it's not true, and if they're going to believe it, let them have their fun.
I guess in the end, that's the only attitude.
You have to.
You can't sue, really, unless it's really beyond the pale.
Yeah,
because
but Carol did.
Well, I know.
Carol,
I
and
mean,
so did
they're
Shirley.
under
A lot of
certain
people have been
conditions,
suing.
but
You have to sometimes to clear your name.
that's right. But under most conditions, you can't sue because it merely keeps the thing alive.
And some people that do that kind of dirt to people, it's actually something really seriously wrong with them. Because now, if you go to a hotel, and we happen to be good friends, and male and female, and you understand what I mean? And somebody's in the room, somebody says, oh, Mr. So-and-so and so went to, and I seen him on the second floor, and he went into such and such a room, blah, 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 and Miss So-and-so, she was in that same hotel that night, that same night. So they go and they get their heads together, and they fabricate and make all this stuff up, and they're protected by law. You can't go and choke his tongue out.
Maybe there's the answer. We'll take a break and be right back. Just his tongue, get his tongue out. 10 seconds to say goodnight to our William Shatner 911 tomorrow night, Wednesday night, all the time. Golden Girls, Betty White, thank you very much. City and Stolen One husband, Valerie Harper. Bo Diddley, thanks a lot. Dan Miller, Tom Scott, see you tomorrow. Bye.